Parliament to the members of the National Assembly. Accordingly, honorable members, this special sitting is properly convened. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this year's President's address comes at a time when the country is set to host the 14th edition of the East African Community Interparliamentary Games. The Interparliamentary Games shall bring together participants from the member states of the East African Community and the East African Legislative Assembly and are part of the deepening, widening, and tightening of the integration process. The Games are scheduled to commence next month on 7th December 2024 in Mombasa County, and all is set in readiness for these Games. Moving on, Your Excellency, it's in the custom of Parliament to recognize invited guests seated in our galleries. I therefore wish to recognize the following guests who are seated in the Speaker's row. Her Excellency Mama Rachel Ruto, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, and other members of the First Family. His Excellency Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and the spouse of the Deputy President, Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Kithure. Honorable Musalia Mudavadi EGH, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. Your Excellency, honorable members, also present in the Speaker's row this afternoon are the Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mbete Mwilu, MGH, Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court. She's accompanied by Honorable Justice Mohammed K. Ibrahim and Justice William Ouko, judges of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Also accompanying the Deputy Chief Justice are Honorable Justice Oscar Angote, presiding judge of the Environment and Land Court, Honorable Justice Lady Justice Jemima Wanza Kelly, judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. We are also honored to have in our midst the immediate former speakers of the Houses of Parliament, the Honorable Justin Bedan Njoka Muturi, EGH, the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and Human Capital Development, the Honorable Kenneth Marende, EGH, the Honorable Kenneth Makelo Lusaka, EGH, the current Governor of Bungoma County, Honorable Ekwe Ethro, and additionally, we also are pleased to be hosting a delegation visiting our Parliament from the Republic of the Gambia. Your Excellency, allow me to also recognize the chairperson of the Council of Governors, who is also the Governor of Wajir County, the Honorable Ahmed Abdullahi, and the Honorable Johnson Sakaja, Governor of the City of Nairobi County. May I also accord special recognition to all Cabinet Secretaries present and particularly acknowledge 4 of them who are former ranking members of the Houses of Parliament, namely Aden Duale, EGH, former leader of the majority party in the National Assembly, Honorable Onesimus Murkomen, EGH, former Senate Majority Leader, Honorable John Badi, EGH, Honorable Opio Wandai, EGH, both former leaders of the minority in the National Assembly. I need not mention that His Excellency the Deputy President is a former leader of majority in the Senate. I also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Felix Kosgei, Chief of Staff and Head of the Public Service, Principal Secretaries, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and heads of constitutional commissions and independent offices and state corporations present. They are all welcome to the House of Parliament. Your Excellency, I wish to make a special welcome to Parliament and mention the Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, General Daniel Kahariri, who is present, and the respective service commanders, the Inspector General of Police, and other leaders of our disciplined forces who are seated at the Speaker's row. Parliament is grateful for your distinguished service to our great nation. To all invited guests, we say, Karibuni sana kwa bunge letu. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces to address this special sitting of Parliament. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Speakers of Parliament, the Honorable Members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to address you today in the fulfillment of the mandate vested in me under Article 1321C of the Constitution to report to you and to the people of Kenya on the measures we have taken and the progress we have made in realizing our national values and principles of governance, and to submit to you, honorable members, the progress made in fulfilling our international obligations. Since my last address, Kenya has undergone rapid change, occasioned by the collective awakening of the people in the understanding that the state of nation depend on the work we do individually and collectively. This realization extends not only to what we choose to undertake, but also to how we go about securing careers, livelihoods, and contributing to the grand enterprise of nation building. There has never been doubt, and now there is none whatsoever, that Kenya is a land of bold ambition, with our citizens always desiring and insisting on the best possible standards, not only for themselves, but also for their families and for our nation. Consequently, our democracy has empowered citizens to ask questions and demand changes in the way their affairs are managed, driving the wheels of our nation's social, political, and economic transformation faster in the direction of excellence and prosperity. Rare are the times when leadership is ahead of the people. We are always striving to steer the machinery of state and government to keep pace with the aspirations of our citizens. We have learned through the hard as well as the more customary ways that listening is a full-time occupation of leadership, and that all questions asked by the people must be answered thoroughly and in full. We have learned never to take anything for granted and make every effort to carry all our people along with us in the pursuit of our transformation. The context in which I make this national address is not only significantly different from previous occasions, but it is also a singular moment with unique historical implications for us all. It is an opportunity to affirm the principles and values of which our nation stands, review the steps we have taken, the path we have chosen in our journey of national development, and reinforce the commitments we have made to one another and to our beloved nation for the sake of the present and future generations. I do not take this for granted, and with utmost respect and humility before this august assembly of the people's elected representatives, I desire to respond to the most pressing concerns that have been raised by Kenyans of all walks of life in recent months. To my understanding, the concerns and issues voiced by millions of Kenyans about the state of our nation deserve meaningful engagement, thorough understanding, and thoughtful response. There are discussions about whether leaders understand the pain, hardship, and struggles endured by countless citizens every day as they strive to make ends meet, and whether the government is doing anything about it.